It's Wolf, and it's a stream. Hello. um, yeah, I know I had said that I probably wasn't gonna like do any streams for a little while. Oh God, did I just like burp? Said that I wasn't probably gonna do streams for a little while, and I have been not doing them as much. And that is still gonna be a thing for a little while. But I figured I was gonna play the Division tonight anyway, and I already had all of my stuff hooked up with my Elgato because I just recorded a Roblox video last night. So I figured this was an idea for a stream that I had anyway that I wanted to do, play the Division on stream. So I figured why not do that tonight if I'm gonna play it anyway. But also I have a whole bunch of like updates and stuff, as is kind of usual with my streams, that I wanted to tell you guys about. And yeah, so I'll play some Division and tell you guys what's been going on, and we'll go from there. I'm only going to be playing side missions and encounters in this stream, so if you have not played the Division yet, there will not be like any like major story spoilers or anything. So keep that in mind. That's kind of specifically why I wanted to do just side missions and encounters. Um, that being said, uh, so the Division is set up weird, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. Um, yeah, so as for channel updates and real life stuff and things like that, I wanted to mention to you guys before I get too far into the stream. So I noticed when I did those Roblox streams and I made some like Roblox shorts and stuff, I got like a ton of views. I gained like 30 something subscribers, I think. And so that was awesome. However, I've noticed over like the past week that I've lost like six or so subscribers. So I wanted to mention, if you've subscribed for the Roblox stuff, I am still going to do Roblox stuff. It's just that like there's a balance that I need to do, like because I still want to do like other things too, like I'm doing right now with the Division, or like I did a 15 first impressions the other day on. Am I dropping frames? No, I'm not. I shouldn't be. Um, or I wanted to do 15 first impressions on the Battlefield 6 beta. So stuff like that. And it was so funny. YouTube just was like, "Oh, no data, but also excellent connection." By the way, um, so yeah, there's gonna be a mix. It's not just gonna be Roblox things, um, and yeah, and also I know that like when I was doing some of the Roblox stuff a couple weeks ago, I was making like a lot of stuff all at once because I was streaming a lot and I did like a bunch of YouTube shorts. Um, my pace on this channel is like kind of back and forth sometimes. Like it's not always like great. It's not always necessarily bad. It's just that like I have a real job and stuff. Like I'm not like a full time streamer or YouTuber or anything, as is probably obvious by the fact that I only have 900 and I think 40 subscribers right now. Like there's no way this could be an actual job for me right now. Um, so I have like a lot of real life things that I gotta tend to, like job stuff, and then just like I always have some sort of like chore, it seems like, that I have to do. Um, so yeah, my video and stream output might not necessarily be as high as like other people, but it kind of comes and goes. Like when I did a bunch of those Roblox streams, I had just recently finished catching up on a ton of stuff. I had finished catching up on um, there was a bunch of TV shows, games, books, everything that I wanted to read, and it took me, I think, about like 2 months to finally do all that. And so I had, at the time that I was doing all those Roblox streams, I had just finally finished doing all that stuff, so I didn't really have anything new on my plate. But now I have some other stuff that I got to work on, so that's part of it. Um, yeah, I guess that's all there is to say. I feel like I had more to say about that, but I can't really think of anything. Um, I have some really good news, by the way, though, about real life stuff. So, if you guys have been watching my streams, you've probably heard me talk about like how I got sent to a sleep specialist because my doctor was like, "Oh, you might have sleep apnea." Because I went to my doctor. I'll summarize it real quick because I know I talked about it a bunch of times before, and some of you guys have probably heard most of the story before. But I my stomach was upset a bunch, and I went to my doctor about it like twice, and eventually she was like, "Oh, maybe you have sleep apnea because that can screw with your stomach if there's like not anything else kind of obvious going on or whatever." And I didn't really think that that was necessarily the case. Blah blah blah. Go to sleep specialists, do a sleep study, and turns out I did have sleep apnea. I had an AHI of 7.5, normal is 5 and below, so mild sleep apnea. Um, and then I had a couple different options. I could do CPAP machine, I could do mandibular adjustment device, or there was like a tongue like exerciser thing that was also an option. Ended up going with the mandibular adjustment device, which is kind of like a mouth guard that like pulls your jaw forward when you're asleep. Because I had already been sleeping with a mouth guard anyway for bruxism. Um, so anyway, I ended up doing that, and but the thing with that was that costed like almost $3,000, wiped out a ton of money that I had saved up. It kind of sucked, but I got it, and it did seem to help, so that was good. So I went back to my sleep specialist, did another sleep apnea, or yeah, at home sleep study thing, and just found out the results recently. And good news is, no more sleep apnea. At least not when I'm wearing the mandibular adjustment device. So I am extremely happy to hear about that, because sometimes, like, even after you like, if you get a mandibular adjustment device, they don't always work for everybody. And so I'm just really glad that that did work for me. And I think even my sleep specialist was a little bit surprised, because he was just like, oh, well, I guess you're cured. And I don't know. It almost felt like he was a little bit annoyed that I got the adjustment device from my own dentist rather than through a referral that he gave me. But like, my own dentist, my dentist is like excellent, so that was why I did that. So anyway, that's just an update on that I figured I would mention. Yeah, so sleep apnea seemingly gone. At least when I'm wearing the mandibular adjustment device. But yeah, I'm just happy about that, because I was worried about, like, what if it gets worse or whatever, or what if it didn't fix it? Like, am I gonna have to get a CPAP machine? Like, that suck, because those things seem like kind of a pain to use. My dad had to use one for a while. Yeah. But anyway, that's real life updates, and also channel updates. And the only other thing I wanted to mention in terms of update stuff is I am not using Blue Sky anymore. I had stopped using Twitter a couple months ago, and I'm also not going to be using Blue Sky anymore. It's hard to explain why, because it's like a really kind of controversial thing right now. But like, I'm trying to think of a good way to put this. All right, I'm gonna do some encounters before I go trying to do any side missions. So it's tough. I'm trying to think. Like, I've been trying to think of this for a few days, like how to go about this, because like I don't know how much of this I actually want to mention. It's not anything like personal, but it's a really controversial topic right now. I guess the best way for me to talk about it is just talk about it directly. So, a few days ago, and I feel like I should pause again and talk about this because it's kind of serious. I know that you guys want to see me play, but a couple days ago, there was the assassination of Charlie Kirk, political commentator here in the U.S., very conservative guy. I'm not going to talk about the political aspects of it very much, but he got assassinated, and since he was at a public event, there was a ton of videos of him getting shot. And those spread on social media like wildfire, and I, for one, do not enjoy seeing people get shot. I know that's ironic given that I'm playing a third-person shooter right now, but I do not like seeing real-life videos of people getting shot. And so I saw that on social media, and even though Blue Sky was doing a pretty good job of like moderating, I think it still was popping up there. I actually didn't see it on there, but I know that like there were people posting it on there too. So that kind of made me think like, man, that just kind of sucks. Like, I don't want to see that. And then also like, there's been just a lot of controversy with the reactions that people have had to his passing. I had almost never heard of the guy. I saw like one thing of his that went viral like a year ago, but I don't really follow any political media, so I had never really heard of him. So there's been a lot of reactions where there's just a lot of very intense reactions on both sides of the political spectrum in the US about it, and so that also kind of made me really not feel like using any sort of like Blue Sky, Twitter, Facebook type social media, because there was so much politics. And then it just had me thinking in general. Oh, hello, JTF man on a taxi. Um, it just had me thinking in general about how like there's been a few days over the past few months where I've like not gone on Blue Sky or anything like that, any sort of like social media like that. Um, and actually, those days have been kind of really nice. Like when I visited my girlfriend recently, um, like I was still doing stuff I liked. I was still playing video games. I was still like watching YouTube and stuff, but like I wasn't I wasn't like I wasn't on social media sites like that, and it was really nice in a lot of ways. And then I also recently I started watching some new shows like from the 2000s and stuff. I started watching Sliders, and I started watching Drawn Together. Drawn Together might actually be from the 2010s. I'm not sure. Anyway, I started watching some older shows, and of course, like, but when those shows came out, like a bunch of the modern like political polarization was not really present. Um, and so, long story short, I don't want to talk about politics any more than I already have, but I was like, I just don't care. Like, I just don't want to be involved in any of this. And YouTube, I feel like, is a little bit of like a different situation compared to social media platforms like that, because YouTube actually curates itself pretty well to what you watch. Like if I watch gaming videos on YouTube, I'm probably not gonna get political nonsense that I don't want to watch. Um, anyway, so I'm not gonna be using Blue Sky anymore. I mentioned it in a post, and I also mentioned it on Blue Sky. Um, yeah, I'm just going to be here on YouTube, and then maybe someday if some other social media site pops up that I actually enjoy using, or like maybe if Twitter or Blue Sky ever get better, then maybe I'll start using them again. But I just don't really see a point in it, especially also because I don't think that many people from this channel follow me on there anyway. So, um, I am still going to keep both of my accounts on those websites for now, just kind of like for archival purposes, but also because there are some times where like there's somebody that I need to get in contact with that the only possible way to contact them is through there. But I also gave my like business email out to a couple people that I talk to on there pretty often, that like I kind of consider like possible people that like I might collab with for a video or something in the future. So they still know how to get in contact with me and stuff. So, yeah. I'm kind of surprised that I have the energy to stream today because I had an extremely busy day today. Um, two of my three meals today. Wait, where's the staircase for that one? Two of my three meals today were like gas station snacks because I was just running around so much today. My girlfriend, my beautiful, wonderful girlfriend, is coming to visit me in person soon, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. But there's so much stuff that needs to be done before she gets to visit me. Or, well, she's going to get to visit me. But before she arrives, just need to clean up and stuff. So today I, like, took a ton of stuff to the dump, and, like, I cleaned a bunch of stuff. Cleaned a bunch of cupboards in my kitchen today. Me and a lot of my family members are kind of like, we unfortunately have the habit of like just pushing things back in cupboards whenever we get new things. So there was like a ton of old stuff that needed to be taken out, and I ended up using up so many trash bags today just getting rid of stuff that I had to go buy more trash bags. So yeah, it's been a very busy day, but I'm really, really looking forward to seeing my girlfriend in person again. And she's not from the U.S. It'll be her first time here, so that'll be really cool too. And I've said before that she might be on a stream eventually, and we had been looking into like trying to figure out a way for us to do a stream together, even though she doesn't really like stream. She's on social media a little bit, but not as much as, well, I guess like actually she probably is more now that I'm not doing anything other than YouTube. But dude, oh, dang it, now I gotta restart the whole encounter. That's the one annoying thing about encounters in the Division is they don't have checkpoints like normal missions or side missions do, and it sucks. Anyway though, so yeah, since she will be here in person, soon. We might like do a stream together in person, or she might just kind of like be in the background yelling at me in person while I stream. But I suggested to her maybe we could do like a Roblox stream in person, like in the same room, which would be kind of fun because we played Roblox together, and that was actually really fun. Speaking of future videos and stuff, so like I said, I have a Roblox video on the way that I worked on. That, okay, there's honestly a part of me that is still a little bit iffy on actually putting it out because I don't know how well it actually turned out. It felt kind of boring when I was recording it, but we'll see when I edit it how it looks. And then I have another Roblox video idea that I want to start working on soon. And I kind of want to, even though I've finished a lot of my various to-do lists, I still have a bunch of video ideas that have been sitting around for like ever. And I want to try to work on some of those. So try to do that soon too, hopefully. But, you know, it's been like 16 minutes and I haven't actually really talked about The Division at all. I have a lot to say about The Division. You know, sometimes I play games and I don't really have that much to say about them. I have actually so much to say about The Division, because I have played this game for a really long time. So, I started playing The Division back when it was in beta, and I played it on PS4. I played this game so much and enjoyed it so much that this is actually one of the very few games I've ever left a Steam review on. This game is really, really cool. I've always enjoyed it. I think that even though it came out in like 2013 or 2014, I think, it still holds up as like one of the best like third-person shooter MMO type games that I've ever played. It's just the mechanics of this game are so well developed. It's super impressive. Just the way that like characters move around the environment in this game is something that I've always been impressed with. I think the story and the lore of it is really cool. There's just so much that I like about this game. But one odd thing about it, which I kind of hinted at earlier, is that the way that this game works for leveling, I find to be really strange. This game, so, like, okay, you can see I'm level 17 right now. The enemies are level 16. The way that this game does leveling is not uncommon, but it feels odd for a game that is mostly that is primarily a third-person shooter. So, like, the level of your enemies affects the damage that you do and the damage that you receive a lot in this game. I mean, like, a little bit too much. So, God dang it, not again. This is really not going well. I'm sorry. Sorry this is boring. I'm trying really hard to finish this encounter. Well, so this is one of the issues with The Division, is that some of the missions that you have, like some of these encounters and side missions, are just randomly really hard. But anyway, so I'm determined to finish this encounter, though, before we move on. I hope this stream is not just me trying and trying at this encounter and failing. So, like, the way that the map is laid out, right? Look up in the top right, it shows you the level of the enemies that you encounter in these areas. So it goes all the way up to 34. And then I believe after 30 or after 34, it's like enemies just kind of consistently level up with you or something like that. I don't know. I've not played the game enough to actually find that. But so those are levels of enemies in the districts. And if you are a level within that district, you will mostly encounter enemies of the same level as you. So if you're in a district that is like level 10 to level 12, if you're a level 10, you're going to pretty much always encounter level 10 enemies. If you're a level 12, you're going to pretty much always encounter level 12 enemies. Once you get above that level, though, you will be a higher level than them, and they will stay at the highest level for that area. So like right now, I'm in a 15 to 16 level zone. My character is level 17, though, so my character is going to be a higher level than those characters because the max for this like district is 16. The thing is, so if you go into a district with like higher level enemies, you do almost no damage to enemies that are more than one level above you. And the thing is that like the way that this game is set up with the campaign and stuff, like the campaign missions don't give you enough to level up as you need realistically for the next campaign mission. Um, and so yeah, it's like after the first like 2 or 3 campaign missions, you end up not really being able to successfully complete the next campaign missions because they get really, really challenging. Um, and so that's why right now on this playthrough, I've never actually finished this game, and I've always meant to, but so that's why on this playthrough now, I am purposefully going through and trying to do every side mission and every encounter before I do any more of the main missions, because then I should be really leveled up and kind of overpowered for the missions, and the missions should not be like frustrating. And also just, I mean, I just like this game, so why not? But yeah, so that's one little bit of an annoyance that I have with this game is that like you kind of have to do everything before you can move on, and I don't really like that in games necessarily. Like I like side missions and stuff to be side missions. I feel like sometimes it's also easy to kind of lose track of like the level of your gear and stuff, and accidentally sort of under level yourself. Cause so I have a Scar as my secondary right now, but for a while I was using one as my primary. And with that being like a marksman rifle, the DPS of it is actually pretty high, but it's actually not necessarily like the best weapon to always use. And the thing was, like, a bunch of the other weapons looked underpowered because the game kept comparing it to the Scar, but in reality, like the other weapons were better, even though the DPS number was lower. It was kind of confusing, but that's why I ended up swapping to this MG for my primary, just because it seems to work better. And also, some of the enemies, regardless of level and like what gun you're using and stuff, they just are like absolute bullet sponges, and you just need like a ton of rounds. So the MG is pretty good at that. Uh-oh. I might check out the Dark Zone a little bit too in this stream. Why not? Also, if you're wondering why I'm picking up like every single item that I find, uh, it it's another thing too with like credits. Sometimes you don't always get like a ton of credits from missions and stuff, so it's kind of a good idea to there we go, to pick up like extra items to sell, even if you're not actually going to use them yourself. So that's why I've been picking up pretty much everything I encounter. Although some of these things are actually really good. Alongside YouTube stuff, I have finally been writing a bit too. I mentioned I did a lot of writing throughout college, mostly because like that's what I was studying. But I've done a lot of like fun writing too, and I've finally actually started doing that a little bit again too. It was kind of hard for a while to find time to, but for a second there, out of the corner of my eye, I thought my microphone was blinking, which would have been it was muted. And I was like, oh my god, if I just been streaming for like almost half an hour muted, but I am not. That would have been bad. I've done that before though. That was like that one time. It is the pre-grad school stream extravaganza thing where I was doing part of it. I was doing like uh, records in Modern Warfare 3 Survival, and I went to the bathroom at one point and put on like my BRB screen, and I forgot to take it off when I came back, and it took me like half an hour to notice because nobody was actually watching live and nobody told me. That sucked. It feels so weird to be streaming, like doing proper computer streams these days, because like, you know, it sort of happened out of nowhere. Me encountering this computer and getting it and fixing it up a little bit and using it and like actually having a nice computer and being able to stream and play games and stuff on it. I've been using this computer a ton, actually, like way more than I even anticipated when I first got it. Are there people coming this way? No? I think right now, though, speaking of games and computers and stuff, my current game to finish is The Division, just because, alongside the fact that I've played it a ton and yet never actually finished it, I'm a little bit concerned that it could be one of these games that'll have the servers shut down sort of soon, because, you know, the servers got shut down for, the servers got shut down for the crew a little while back. And, oh, dang it, not again. Servers got shut down for the crew a little while back. That was another Ubisoft game. And I mean, there does seem to still be people playing The Division, but I don't really ever encounter other players very much, so... But it's also one of these things, too, where, like, now that I've finished doing a bunch of other stuff, I want to work on finishing this, because, like, I feel like this is going to take a while. Just the whole strategy that I've been having to kind of do of, like, finishing all the side content first in order to be leveled up enough to take on the main content. Like, that is just going to take a long time. I'm, what, like, halfway through the map now? And I've been playing a lot, so... You know, now I think about it, I actually have recorded 2 Roblox videos recently that I need to edit and put together and stuff. Not just one. But one of them I recorded, like, not that long ago, but a couple days ago. So I haven't worked on it in a while. I need to equip some of these new items. I've had a song stuck in my head for like 2 days that I feel like goes pretty appropriately with this game. It's the most... Whoa, no. I had to itch my face and got distracted. It's the most recent Lyrical Lemonade video. It is 2016 Life by Smoke Dope 2016, which is such a funny name for a musician, but he makes some pretty good songs. I hadn't heard of him before, but like that artist name and, you know, the fact he got a Lyrical Lemonade video and also just the thumbnail for the video looks a little bit crazy. You know, I had to listen to it, and his whole theme does seem to be kind of like this like 2010s stoner aesthetic. And so the video, if you guys haven't seen it, even if you don't like hip hop and stuff, or you don't like Lyrical Lemonade stuff, that video is really cool. It's very Counter-Strike themed, and it's a really, really good video. And the song is really good too. And I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like I wouldn't think that I would be nostalgic for a time that really doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but that video really kind of made me nostalgic for it. And so, yeah, it's been stuck in my head. Where's this key at? Maybe back in here where some of those enemies came from. Yep. Did I take it? There we go. Need to get a better mouse and possibly keyboard, because this keyboard is not bad. I've had this keyboard for a pretty long time, but it's not really a gaming keyboard. Some of the keys feel kind of sticky and stuff. Doesn't really work that well always for gaming. And I mean, I'm actually not necessarily a huge fan of mechanical keyboards. I think they're almost too loud, but we'll see. Maybe I will invest in one. I really want to get a new mouse though. I used to have a mouse that was like one of those MMO mouses where mices, where it had like 9 buttons on the side that you could correspond to the number pad, because in MMOs sometimes you got a ton of abilities all mapped out to different numbers and stuff on your number pad. But what I ended up using those numbers for was I actually remapped them to certain letters and like macros for video editing, and it worked really well. And I kind of missed that, but that mouse eventually ended up breaking. But yeah, because like if you do that, like the way, because a lot of my videos are pretty simply edited. Like I don't really have a ton of stuff that goes on in my videos. Oh, I need to change some equipment around. Those are things that I need to sell. Do I have a new side? Ooh, I do have a better sidearm. And there we go. Much better. What was I talking about? Oh, mice. Yeah. So what I had ended up doing with my old mouse was I ended up mapping, well, so my videos, I was saying a lot of my videos and stuff are really simply edited. A lot of my videos are just like either commentary video or no commentary video, where the main thing is just to cut out boring parts and then paste all the other parts together. So a lot of that is just cut, delete, drag, cut, delete, drag. And I mean, it's not hard to do on a keyboard, but it's just like sometimes you have to do a lot of movement to like cut in a video editing software or to do things like that. So on my old mouse, I had it mapped to like, I think I had 1 as cut and 2 as delete, and so I didn't even really have to use my keyboard that much, and that worked really well. And I've seen some various like, oh, this might be kind of a big one, because usually these virus scanner things are in like a building and you just go up and look for the other ones, but this might take a minute. Gotta find the other virus scanners? Oh geez, this might actually be kind of challenging. I've seen some like devices that are made for video editing that have like a little scroll wheel and a couple buttons and stuff on them, and I can see how those would probably be useful, but I don't know, they're like, all of them are at least like 100 something bucks, or a lot of them are even more expensive than that, and then some of them like don't work with Mac OS. And so yeah, I don't know, the mouse idea seems like it would be better, because you can get a mouse that's like built like the MMO mice like that with all the buttons. You can get those for relatively cheap depending on what brand you get. Like the one I had before was a Red Dragon, and those are really cheap on Amazon. So we'll see. Because there is a part of me though that kind of wants to get one of those fancy like devices for video editing, because they just seem kind of cool, and they seem like maybe they would be useful, because I wouldn't have to use my keyboard or my mouse maybe. But I kind of feel like regardless of what I would end up doing, it would be inevitable that I would have to use like, oh, an ACR. I feel like it would be kind of inevitable that I would have to end up using like the keyboard still, so I don't know. Oh my god, where are... Oh, there's one.
Alert. Contamination scan initiated.
2 more. Are they all going to be down hiding in here? Oh, yep, there's another one. I think the last one might be the other way in this pit. Somewhere. Oh wait, was that it? No. Is that the one that I just did? That is the one that I just did, isn't it? Or no, this is a different one. Okay, this is the one that I did second. Another game that I've been considering going back and like finally playing through also is oh, this was one. I totally walked by it.
Contamination scan initiated.
Another game that I've been thinking about trying to go back and like actually finally finish once I finish with The Division is Fallout New Vegas, because that's another game that I've not only have I spent a lot of time playing Fallout New Vegas, but I've spent a ton of time watching Fallout New Vegas videos. And so I'd like to finally go through and play that. When I played it before, I like nearly finished it. I got right about as close to the ending of it as you could without actually finishing it. So there's a lot of encounters in this district. So that's something I would like to maybe try to do also. Yeah, I watch. Oh my god, I'm tired. I have watched a ton of Fallout New Vegas stuff from Al Chestriach. I think I've said before that I'm a pretty big fan of Al Chestriach, but he's one of those YouTubers that I've been watching for like a really, really long time. I remember seeing his videos originally when I was in middle school, I think. And keep in mind, I am all the way past grad school now. I remember seeing his videos a couple times at first and not really not necessarily getting it. It started raining. It sounded like it was raining. And not really at first when I watched some of his videos, I didn't really get them, and I was like, oh, it's kind of silly, he's playing with all these mods and stuff. But then eventually I watched some more of them, and I realized wow, this guy is really funny, and some of these mods that he's playing are really interesting. And then I just I watched El Chestriach a ton through middle school and a good chunk of high school, and then I kind of fell off of watching him a bit, but it's always been pretty consistent that I end up watching some Al Chestriach videos. So is it right? I can't tell. So yeah, since a lot of the stuff he covers is just Fallout in general, not necessarily always New Vegas, but a lot of the stuff that I've watched from him is New Vegas related, and he does mostly play New Vegas stuff, or at least he used to. He still does a lot of New Vegas stuff though. Yeah, that's why I have probably watched him play New Vegas more than I have played most games myself. Did I just find a glitch in a 12-year-old game? Yeah, look at that. Somebody didn't line these panels up perfectly. You can see out into the ether. That's crazy. Yeah, not really I don't think I've collabed with anybody yet, but that's Al Chestriach is one of the people that I think it would be really cool to collaborate with. I don't really think Al collaborates with a lot of people either, but someday maybe. That would be really cool. Especially because his videos have inspired a lot of my own videos, the type of comedy and stuff that I like. Even though I'm not actually all that comedic, I guess, when I play games, but my commentary style and the whole general basis of my channel is pretty heavily inspired by him and a handful of other people as well. I've thought before that could be really interesting sometime to go and make a video about the YouTubers that I like to watch, because there's a lot of people that I really like to watch that even if they're bigger YouTubers, maybe there's people in my audience that don't necessarily watch them that would like to watch them. Uh-oh. Need to play some more Defiance too. I haven't really played that in a while. And want to play some more APB Reloaded. I made an account on there. I remember a long time ago I went to play that, but my computer at the time couldn't handle it, and I kind of forgot about it. And played it a little bit on PS4 when it was on there. I don't think it's still on there though. I don't know if it is or not. I have to go back to Safe House to sell some stuff and to get some more ammo. But yeah, APB Reloaded was really cool to play on PlayStation, and I think I'll really like it on PC, so I want to play some of it too. That's one of those games that doesn't really seem to have too much of a story though, so I'm not really concerned about like when I play it, I guess. ACR has really good DPS. I might have to investigate that. I might want to replace the SCAR with that. Right. Oh, no. The ACR does more DPS than my MG, but not more than the SCAR. I kind of want to keep using the MG for now, though, just because it has so much ammo. That's a pretty good armor rating. Alright, let's get back into the encounters. You know, I actually don't know if I will play any side missions during the stream. I was planning on it, but usually there's only like 4 encounters in a district, but this one had like 6. So, and I failed at the one like 3 times in a row. I'm still sad about the Division Heartland being canceled. When I was setting the stream up and I was setting up what game I'm playing, I saw that the Division Heartland is listed in there. And I was like, if only. I never even got to play the beta for that either, which kind of sucks. I don't think I got invited to it, but I'm not entirely sure. But I remember trying to sign up for it, but never actually got to play it. And then now it's canceled, of course, so... And weirdly enough, on YouTube, in the categories, in the game sections, in the game title list for when you're setting up your stream, the Division does not appear for a possible game, which is really odd. So that's why I ended up doing the Division and the Division 2, because all of the other ones were not the Division at all. At least this includes the Division. Yeah, it had like the Division 2, the Division Resurgence, the Division 2, like there was a DLC that it had. This listing for Division 1 and 2, it had Division Heartland, and it had Division 3 for some reason, which I don't think the Division 3 has been announced yet, which is interesting. But, yeah. I'm curious with the Division 3, if that does come out someday, what they'll do with it. I kind of... Like, it's weird. Even though I like the Division 1, I'm actually not all that interested in playing the Division 2. I probably should, but we'll see. I do have it. I have it on PS5. I actually got it for free. There's a video, I don't know if it's still on my channel or if I got rid of it, but there was a video I made a while ago where I talked about how the Division 2 had gotten marked down to like $5, and with a GameStop Power Up Rewards Pro membership, you got like a $5 credit every month, and so I literally got it for free. Yeah. Uh-oh. This is bad, this is bad. Oh. I might really need to upgrade my armor or something, because I'm still taking a lot of damage. Man, I gotta walk all the way back there.
This area is safe. Warning. You are now leaving the safe area.
Something I've been considering with The Division and how I'm aiming to like finally play through it. Not only just play through it, kind of 100% it. I might do a review of it, which I know that I've said this like 3 separate times for different games. I said this about The Darkness, and then I had a bunch of real life stuff pop up, and then didn't really actually get to review it because like by the time I settled all that stuff, I had kind of forgotten what The Darkness was about. And then I said that I was maybe going to do Mafia: The Old Country, but then realized that that game, I feel like this is my review of it in a nutshell, but that game was so boring that I didn't really actually have anything to say about it. So, yeah. But since I did write a Steam review for this game, and I've played so much of it, maybe, dude, what? Maybe I will do a review of this. Once I find the time to stop having to respawn. Good God. I think I need to buy some new gear. Where was it? Ceramic plate armor. Need another like 100, 200 credits for that. Sell this. And actually, does that give me enough? It does. Okay. So, get that. Find equip. And then sell my old armor. And let me swap my pads. Where are they? These nicer ones. And sell the old ones. And I'm going to swap my main weapon to this ACR just to give it a try. Maybe it will help. Thing is, like, I thought an MG would be a good idea because I kept running out of ammo in the middle of firefights. But I guess if you're using a weapon that does more damage to begin with, you don't really have to worry about running out of ammo. As long as you're accurate. You know, Ubisoft's made a lot of multiplayer games over the past decade or so when you really think about it. He's got The Crew 2, The Crew Motorfest, The Division 2, The Division Resurgence supposedly is on the way. That's like a mobile Division game. X Defiant, even though that shut down. And I'm probably forgetting multiple others. And even like games that were not focused on multiplayer had multiplayer modes. Like Far Cry 3, Far Cry 3, Driver San Francisco, Far Cry 2, Far Cry 4. And you know, the thing is, like, some of the games, like some of the Ubisoft games, and honestly a lot of like PS3 era games in general that kind of had like the sort of semi-unnecessary multiplayer modes. Some of those multiplayer modes are so much fun. It's like I wish I could go play like Driver San Francisco multiplayer. Well, I think I could if I got it on PC, but that's one of those games that's a little hard to get on PC because it's delisted from a bunch of places. So like if you want to get it, you're gonna have to buy a key from like a key reseller, or I don't even know if Driver San Francisco got physical versions on PC. So which does remind me, I kind of had another video idea related to that one time too, but I haven't actually looked into that in a while. As I've been playing the Division again lately, every time I've gone in the Dark Zone, you know, I actually haven't encountered any other players in the Dark Zone. Let's try using a grenade this time. That worked pretty well. Okay, this ACR might not be a bad option. It's one of these things, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier about how like the levels of stuff like ends up being really, really important in the Division. It's like you kind of just got to keep swapping things for better things. It's one of those types of games. Luckily, like a lot of the main visual aspects of your character are not locked to like loot items. It's kind of annoying when some games do that. But it's nice that like the like clothes that your character wears, aside from like the backpack and the knee pads and stuff, those don't have stats. Those are just visual, which is kind of cool. But for the weapons, it is a little bit weird because like, well, maybe I wanted to use an MG, but now I can't really use an MG because it wasn't doing enough damage, and I, you know, didn't have another one laying around that did do enough damage. So blah blah blah, stats and video games. You guys get what I'm saying. ACR fires really fast.
Warning. Hostile forces approaching.
I don't think I've used a shotgun at all since I started playing too. This go around. JTF, where are you? That's another thing too. I figure I might as well mention. That's one of the things that like I don't that I'm kind of iffy about when it comes to the Division 2 is that part of the reason why I like the Division 1 is because of the theming of it. It seems, I might be wrong about this, but it seems to take place relatively early on in like the whole dollar flu fiasco and stuff. And so in the Division, like, society still exists and is functioning and supposedly seems to still be mostly okay outside of New York City. But the Division 2 makes it a lot more post-apocalyptic. And I mean, that's alright, but... And I mean, I like post-apocalyptic stuff, but... I don't know, it's just like, you know, I just like the way that this game is set up where it feels very isolated. Might be level 18 by the time I leave this district, which would be really good. I kind of figured that if you did like every single activity, eventually you would start consistently being higher level than the enemies, and not just in main story missions, but I wasn't totally sure. I have to go up somehow. Is it through here? Yep. Alleyway. And maybe not actually. Oh, yep. Verticality. That's another thing too about the Division 1. The map is so well designed. Like, for one, it's supposed to be like one-to-one to New York City, at least the areas of New York City that the game takes place in. But alongside that, there's a lot of like small explorable areas, like you know, like this apartment, for example. Secure the area. Is this the area? Are these guys all snipers? No. Two of them are, though, I think. Good. No, okay, just one of them. Okay, area has been secured. Now I must find a key, which I have a feeling is going to be up here, where those guys were all coming from. Oh, would you look at that? A key.
Solid work, Division. We're lucky to have someone like you around.
Like, there's really just so much to look at in this game. I mean, seriously, look at this. This is a little, like, server closet. This is so cool. Like, servers, old servers, maybe? Old computer monitors and computers, blue screened computer, calendar, sticky notes. Like, there's just such good design in this game. And even this, like, half, like, abandoned, like office space area.
You are now entering a safe area.
Elevator?
Warning. You are exiting the safe area. Readings indicate this area is safe.
The elevator
You are
is
now
a safe
in the
zone?
area.
What? Why? Alright, I think there's one more encounter left. And then, even though I didn't do any side missions, I've been streaming for about an hour. And by the time I finish this, it'll probably be a little bit over an hour. So, probably end the stream there. Because it's like 1 a.m. for me, and I'm tired. I have a lot to do still. Like I was saying earlier in the stream, girlfriend coming to visit, got a lot of cleaning to do. I have a lot more cleaning to do still, so. A lot more cleaning to do and a lot more just stuff to do. You know, I remember I kept saying a couple weeks ago, like, oh, you know, finally I'm done with all my to-do lists. And it's like, man, they just never end, though. They really never do. But luckily I got done with, like, all the important ones. So that was the big part. I have genuinely felt so relieved now that I have finished so much stuff. Yeah, I've just felt like so much calmer and stuff. It's been really nice. Excuse me. Oh, phone.
So,
Directive
for
51.
the formal language, here it is.
Isn't that the Directive 51? Isn't that like the thing that
With the division.
creates the division?
Possibly run jointly. We will have some autonomy on strategy and implementation, but division agents will have the ultimate authority if it comes to that. Hopefully it won't. You're in the field, you don't need to wait for some division honcho to tell you to pull the trigger.
Or is Directive 51 the thing that lets the division take over in like situations like this? I don't really remember. Oh wow, my computer's actually kind of getting hot. Huh, you know, I'm curious about something. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pop the BRB screen up so that way, like, I don't think, like, I mean, I don't have any personal info on this computer anyway, but I want to check my performance. Oh, okay, that's hmm. Okay, actually, it's not bad. Normally, I was just thinking about it. Like, I've never actually, like, I've been using this computer for a while, and I've never actually checked, like, my GPU while I was doing, like, significant gaming. But, like, while I was doing this now, since I put my leg down near my computer, felt kind of hot, figured might as well check it. And it was at, like, normally it's sitting at, like, 50-something Celsius, but it was at, like, 71, and I was like, I don't know if that's good or bad. Because I've been a little bit concerned about it ever since I got it, because the old cooling solution on it was like an old water cooler that looked like it had seen far better days. And so I replaced it with like an air cooling setup that I did myself, and I wasn't totally sure if I had like done it all correctly, but apparently it's okay, because I guess like 80 and above is when you need to be concerned. That being said, I mean, well, actually, honestly, I really don't know if there's like that much more that I could do, like other than like add another fan. But 71 or whatever, like it was sitting at, seems to be pretty all right. And I've never had it like beep at me or anything, so I'm not really that concerned about it. You know, having like an actual nice gaming computer like this though has made me realize that, you know, even though I still plan on mostly using Macs for most things from now on, just because the Mac that I have now has been treating me so much better than like any Windows computer ever has, that it really is nice having a gaming computer to play games on. And I've been considering trying to save up some money to build a gaming computer. It's just that it's so expensive, because parts for it are still so expensive. Ever since the pandemic and ever since like crypto mining and NFT stuff all happened, every part of a computer has just been so expensive. So I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe over time, like, I could save up some money. To be honest, like, I don't even really necessarily need a computer that's any better than this one. Just like with newer parts, maybe like find the equivalents of the stuff that I have now and then get that, like the newer versions of that type of stuff. Because I mean, I don't really play that many modern games, so. It said there was a new encounter unlocked. I am level 17. I probably could take that on real quick. Nah, I don't think I'm going to. I know it's kind of probably a little bit disappointing for you guys who are enjoying the stream, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream there. It's been about an hour, so thank you guys for watching. Hopefully all the stuff that I talked about earlier on in the beginning of the stream kind of explains what's been going on and stuff in real life and like with my social media presence and all that kind of thing. Again, just to reiterate, I have a lot of video ideas, and I have finally, I dropped 110 frames at some point during the stream. Where did those all go? That's like 2 seconds worth of frames. Yeah, I am working on a bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of video ideas, and I am actually legitimately working on them for once. Like, I know I say that sometimes, and I'm not actually working on anything, but I have been working on stuff. It's just that it takes a long time to make videos sometimes, even simple ones. Especially when I have so many real life things that I always seem to be caught doing. So, or like dragged into doing, whatever. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in other stuff in the future, and